Think back to your university days. You were given an entire semester, 4 full months, to write a major research paper. You planned it. You thought about it. But 90% of the actual work happened in a caffeine-fueled 48-hour panic right before the deadline. And you got it done. Now, fast forward to today. Your boss gives you a relatively simple task and says, "Get this back to me by the end of the week." Vaguely, that task expands. It fills your thoughts, you chip away at it, and it takes you the entire week. What happened? The complexity of the work didn't change. The only thing that changed was the container you were given to put it in. This isn't a flaw in your character. You're not lazy or a natural procrastinator. You are simply obeying a powerful, invisible law of work and time. It's called Parkinson's law, and its core principle is this: work expands to fill the time available for its completion. Today, we're deconstructing that law, and at the end, I'll give you a simple, 2-word technique to weaponize it and turn it from your enemy into your greatest productivity tool. The law was first articulated by Cyril Northcote Parkinson in a humorous 1955 essay for The Economist. He observed that in the British civil service, the amount of work had nothing to do with the number of staff. As the empire shrank, the administrative staff grew because they would create work for each other to fill the time. This isn't just about bureaucracy, it's about deep-seated human psychology. There are 3 main reasons why work expands. First, psychological complexity inflates to meet time. When you have a long deadline, a simple task starts to look more daunting. Your brain thinks, if they gave me a week for this, it must be really complex. So you over-research. You fall down rabbit holes. You consider every possible edge case. You turn a simple memo into a doctoral thesis. The perceived complexity of the task grows to match the generous deadline. Second, a distant deadline is an invitation for perfectionism. Perfectionism is just a highbrow form of procrastination. With ample time, you think you can make the project perfect. So you endlessly tweak the font. You reread the same paragraph 20 times. You spend hours on a minor detail that no one will ever notice. The goal shifts from completing the task to creating a flawless masterpiece, which is a goal you can never actually reach, ensuring you use all the allotted time. And third, a lack of urgency kills focus. Your brain is an energy conservation machine. It will always default to the path of least resistance. Without the pressure of an imminent deadline, there's no incentive to achieve deep, focused work. Your attention fractures. You check your email, you scroll social media, you get a coffee. The task that could be done in one 60-minute focused sprint gets fragmented into 20 small, 3-minute chunks spread across an entire day. This law doesn't just govern your to-do list. It quietly infects some of the most frustrating parts of modern life, starting with the one place we all waste countless hours: meetings. The modern corporate world is a perfect laboratory for Parkinson's law. Think about the meeting trap. A meeting is scheduled for 1 hour. When does it end? In 1 hour. Always. Even if the entire purpose of the meeting is resolved in the first 10 minutes, the conversation will invariably expand to fill the container. People will ask unnecessary questions, repeat points, and drift into irrelevant topics simply because the time is there. If the same meeting were scheduled for 15 minutes, the same outcome would be achieved in 15 minutes. But the law's most dangerous application might be in your personal finances. Parkinson's law has a financial cousin. Expenses rise to meet income. Think about it. When you get a pay raise, what happens? For a little while, you have extra money. But soon, your lifestyle inflates. You get a slightly nicer apartment, a more expensive car payment. You start eating out more. Before you know it, you're living paycheck to paycheck again, just at a higher income level. Your spending expanded to fill the available financial space. Without a conscious plan to allocate that new income to savings or investments first, it will simply be absorbed by lifestyle creep. Even our digital lives are subject to this. Why do our phone storage and computer hard drives always seem to be full, no matter how big they are? Because the available data expands to fill the space. We save files we don't need, download apps we never use, and keep thousands of photos, simply because the capacity is there. So, we are all living inside this invisible prison of expanding work, meetings, and expenses. How do we break out? The solution is beautifully simple and counterintuitive. It's not about working harder. It's about creating pressure. If work expands to fill the time available, the logical solution is to make less time available. You must become the master of your own deadlines. You have to learn to create and honor artificial constraints. The enemy of productivity is ambiguity. The friend of productivity is a tight, specific, and non-negotiable deadline. You must treat a deadline you set for yourself with the same seriousness as a deadline given to you by a boss or a client. This means you have to radically shift how you think about your schedule. Stop making open-ended to-do lists. A to-do list is a list of wishes. It has no time constraints. Write report is a task that can expand to fill an entire day. Instead, you need to live by your calendar. And that brings us to the promised two-word technique that can completely transform your productivity. It's called time boxing. Here's how it works. You take a task from your to-do list. You estimate, realistically but aggressively, how long it should take. Then, you block out that specific time on your calendar. 9:01 a.m. to 10 Rest a.m. Write first draft of the quarterly report. During that 60-minute time box, you do nothing else. No email, no phone, just that one task. You have created a container. And because the container is small, the work will shrink to fit it. You are artificially creating the same pressure that made you write that paper in 48 hours, but in a controlled, low-stress way. Time boxing forces you to be ruthless with your focus. When you only have 45 minutes, you don't have time for perfectionism. You focus on what's important. Getting the first draft done. You don't have time to over-research. You use the information you have. You don't have time for distractions. You get straight to the point. You can apply this to everything. For meetings, if you are the organizer, schedule them for 25 minutes instead of 60. Set a clear agenda and a clear outcome. The conversation will magically become more focused and efficient. For your finances, reverse the law. Pay yourself first. The moment you get paid, automatically transfer a set percentage to your savings and investments. Now, your expenses are forced to shrink to fit the remaining, smaller amount of available income. You give your money a job before it has a chance to disappear. By creating these artificial constraints, you are hacking Parkinson's law and using it to your advantage. Parkinson's law teaches us a profound and paradoxical truth about freedom. The conventional idea of freedom is having unlimited time and resources. But in reality, that kind of freedom leads to procrastination, inefficiency, and anxiety. True freedom, especially in a world of infinite distractions, is found in discipline and self-imposed constraints. By setting your own tight deadlines, by time-boxing your tasks, and by automating your financial decisions, you are not limiting yourself. You are liberating yourself. You are liberating your focus, your energy, and your time to be used on the things that truly matter. You stop being a victim of expanding work and start becoming the architect of your time. This mental model of imposing constraints is a true productivity game changer. What is one task or area in your life where you've noticed Parkinson's law in action? Is it with work projects, household chores, or something else? Share your story in the comments below. And if this video gave you a new tool to manage your time, hit the like button to help others escape the procrastination trap. Thanks for your focused attention today.